What is up, YouTube? Hope you're having the nicest of days today, wherever you may be in this world. So in today's video, I'm going to be explaining the difference between a short tail keyword and a long tail keyword, and why you should really care about this information, especially if you want to improve your ranking, your SEO, and ultimately your sales. So guys, if you're new here, then I want to give you my warmest welcome. My name is Ben and I like to bring up videos like this one on publishing and making money online. So if this is going to be interesting to you, do consider giving me a subscribe and hitting the bell icon. And of course, if you got anything from this video, I'd really appreciate it if you smashed that like button for me. But without further ado, guys, let's get into the topic of this video. So I'm going to start off with short tail keywords, and because I'm using the keypad on my Mac, I'm not even going to bother trying to use the pen. I'm just going to type it out here. So short tail keywords. So essentially, a short tail keywords typically have 1 to 2 words in them, but I say typically because it isn't bound by this definition. Depending on which article you read, which video you watch, they may say it's defined by having 1 word in it. Some say it might go up to 2 words, some say it might go up to 3 words, but in honesty, it doesn't really matter. The metric that's going to be most useful for you and your business will be looking at how much search volume each keyword gets. So keywords with a large search volume you can regard as typically short tail keywords. Let me give you an example. So if you come up with the word book, for example, which would fit in the traditional definition of a short tail keyword, this is going to get a lot of search volume. Whether someone just types it in on its own on Google, or put something before the word book or something, a word after the word book, it's going to be searched a lot of times across the internet. Another good example of a short tail keyword is fiction book. So fiction book, again, it's going to be searched a lot of time, not as much as book, but still this is going to be a short tail keyword because it's going to have a very high search volume to it. Another example that would break the traditional mold might be make money online. So this has 3 words in it, and if you look at some of the definitions that other people have given, this is going to be a long tail keyword. But in honesty, there is so much search volume for make money online, and there's so many results as well, that you're going to have a very hard time with this keyword because there's so many people uploading websites, uploading products with this as a keyword. So this is going to be a short tail keyword, and we're going to stick with the word fiction book. We're just going to go crunch the numbers and show you why a long tail keyword might be better for you than a short tail keyword when it comes to ranking and SEO within your business. So I've got the word fiction book. I've just released a fiction book here on Amazon, and I've targeted the fiction book keywords. Now, like I say, it has a lot of search volume, so I'm quite convinced that this is going to be good for me. However, if something has a lot of search volume, it also has a lot of competition. So I'm just going to write lots of comp for short. So the search volume might be 200,000 a month on Google, which would be absolutely crazy, but because I've got lots of competition, I'm not going to show up on page 1 on Google, on Amazon, wherever. So if I'm lucky, I might come up let's say page 5. So if I show up on page 5, how many of my customers are actually going to scroll all the way to page 5 to go and see my product in the first place? Not a lot. I'm going to be generous. Let's say 2% of people actually do make it there and see my product. That's literally 4,000 people. Let's say, I don't know, 10% of people click on it. Again, this is being very generous. That's 400 people clicking on my book. And how many people buy? 10% again, that's generous. That means 40 customers a month for my book. That's ranked on page 5 on Google, Amazon, wherever. So it might be good for some people, but I assume if you've made a fiction book, you put all the time and effort into making one, then you probably want a few more sales than that when it comes to marketing. So now we move on to long tail keywords. We're going to bear those numbers in mind. We're just going to compare what long tail keywords potentials are compared to short tail keywords. So let's type in long tail keywords here. Exactly the same again. It's just going to be 3+ words this time, typically, again, because some long tail keywords could be 2 words, I mean, there could be a long tail keyword with one really long word, I suppose. So again, it's not defined by how many words are in the keyword. And it's going to have lower search volume. So there's not going to be as much search volume for these longer tail keywords. But on the flip side, again, there's going to be lower competition. So you're getting, you know, the flip side of the coin here. And a good example of a long tail keyword could be Vikings fiction book. So because we stuck the word Vikings in front of it, it really does narrow down the interest levels of the customers. So if a customer does type it in, of course, because it gets lower search volume, because it's more specific, it's going to get lower search volume. But again, less amount of people will have a Viking book to offer. Of course, if I published, you know, a romance fiction book, I'm not going to want to rank for the word Vikings fiction book, but I would want to rank for the word fiction book. So maybe this keyword gets, you know, 10,000 searches a month. And because there's only 10,000 searches a month and I want to try and rank for this keyword, maybe I do end up on page 1 for it. So the amount of people that end up seeing my book is 100% because it's right at the top. So you can't miss it if you type in that keyword. So that's 10,000 that's gone through straight away. Now, 10% of people clicking on it, just like 10% last time. So that means 1,000 customers. And then 10% of the people who click on my product buy, that's 100 sales. Now, it's still not great, especially if you put a lot of effort in. You probably still want a bit more than that, but 100, let's zoom out a little bit there, 100 is still definitely better than 40. So you can see why long tail keywords are definitely going to be better for you than short tail keywords to begin with. But of course, you don't want to just stay with long tail keywords. You want to start ranking for short tail keywords as well. If you really do want to make good money out of this is going to be your long-term SEO plan. You're going to start with long-tail keywords because they're a lot easier to rank for. But to bring in the majority of your customers and to make the majority of your money, you want to rank for short-tail keywords. Get your products, get your website on page number 1 of Google, Amazon, wherever it is. Get your videos on page number 1 of YouTube. You're going to want to rank for short-tail keywords. So to do that, I want to bring your attention to my long tail keyword here, Vikings fiction book. And note how the word fiction book is contained within that long tail keyword. Now, if you do well with Vikings fiction book, that means if you show up on page 1 and a lot of people are clicking on your website, if a lot of people are clicking on your product and buying it, then this is going to tell Amazon, Google that, you know, this is a suitable keyword for your product, your website. So you're going to start ranking very well for that. And if you rank for other keywords similar to it as well, so let's say you've added historical fiction book as a keyword to your product, your website, then note how this has got the word fiction book in it as well. And this is going to actually help you organically rank for the keyword fiction books. So if someone types in fiction book in Google, your product will show up there, your website will show up there if you have good sales and, you know, good click-through rates with other keywords such as Vikings fiction book, historical fiction book as well. And this is how you organically rank, and you start ranking for other keywords, and you know, it starts to snowball from there. You can also rank for, you know, historical book, Vikings book, and everything in between. So that's how it's going to start snowballing for you. So you want to pick long tail keywords very relevant to what you're doing, your product, your website, and eventually you'll start to rank for keywords that are slightly more broad, that are slightly more away from what you do. And yeah, that's how it basically goes. So that's going to be your long-term SEO strategy. So start off with long tail keywords and then build your strategy to, you know, start ranking for short tail keywords in that sense. But yeah, I hope this has been a helpful video for you, a nice little description on the difference between short tail keywords and long tail keywords. Like I say, if you got anything from this video, give it a thumbs up. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.